Did you know that I wear the same exact earrings every single day? Yep, that's me. I do that. I love so many different ones. Every day when I get up to put on jewelry, I could get easily and quickly overwhelmed. So, what did I do? I eliminated all my choices except for one pair. Listen, if you struggle with making decisions, even little ones like what earrings you should wear, then this episode is totally for you. We are going to explore 5 different ways to make decision making less stressful. Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire. Are you oh so tired of the constant struggle to keep up on social media? Do you wish you had more time freedom to actually be creative? Well, listen, I'm Melanie Ferguson, a creative business coach and multi-six-figure online creative business owner who's made so many mistakes growing my blog and social media to hundreds of thousands of followers, only to look up and have very little to show for it. Once I put my head down and added a few key systems and strategies, everything changed for me. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my proven systems and shortcuts, turning those followers into paying customers. So if you're ready, let's take your online business to the next level and leave all the overwhelm behind. Don't forget, if you have a burning question that you just really would like to see what my take on it is, or my opinion, or my answer, I would encourage you to run over to the Creatives on Fire podcast.com website, scroll down a little bit and find the speak pipe button, and you can hit record and send me a voice message. Now, don't worry if you mess up, it'll let you start back over and you can listen to your question before you hit send. But I am so excited to be getting some of your guys' questions so that I can answer them here on the podcast as one of our episodes. Well, hey, my friend, let's talk about 5 ways to make decision making less stressful. One way is to eliminate too many choices. I like to say that the reason I have a problem making decisions can be due to what we call FOMO. And I know most of the time we talk about it being fear of missing out, but I'd like to challenge us to reverse that. And every time you think, ooh, I have FOMO, let's reverse that to something more empowering, like fighting off more overwhelm. I love that. I love using acrostics. So, fighting off more overwhelm. So, back to the earrings. It may seem a little bit over the top, but for me, you guys, eliminating a ton of choices really makes my life easier. It's the same for my business. The rule is this: if I already have a service that accomplishes the exact same thing, even if it's not like exactly the same, the decision is an easy no. I once paid for 2 email services for years because it seemed like it was easier than just deciding on which one I wanted to keep. I mean, like, what if one was better? Or what if I had a new platform that only connected to one of them and not the other one? What if the email service cut me off and I lost all of my people? It is totally worth it, you guys, to eliminate all of your multiples. So another trap is free tools. I recently realized I had 2 or 3 different AI tools that basically did the exact same thing. So every time I went to go use an AI tool and ask it a question, I had to decide which one was going to be better. Which one did I want to use? Another decision. So I got rid of all of them but one, even though they were all free. So listen, my friend, hanging on to multiples is FOMO. It's a fear of missing out, but I want us to start reframing that in our minds and calling it fighting off more overwhelm. You do not need 2 of the same of anything. Okay, another way to make decision making less stressful for you is to let go of the good things to make room for the great things. I know we've heard this before, but it's so true. And I have a rule that may seem a little bit harsh, but it has worked for me for a while now. And this is again on a personal level, but I have this rule that I don't purchase a new piece of clothing unless I donate something that I already have in my closet. So basically, the rule is one in, one out. Plus, I don't have any more space in my closet, or I bought these fancy hangers and I don't want to get any more. Like, I have the exact number of hangers that I need for my items. You may be thinking at this point in the podcast, oh my word, who am I even listening to? But listen, there is a method to the madness. Start asking yourself, does this decision directly affect your long-term goals? So for me with the closet, like, I don't want to buy new hangers. I don't want to have too many things where I can't see everything that I own. So if there's a new item that I'm super tempted of, I'm like thinking to myself, well, what can I get rid of? What can I change? What can I make room for this item? How can I make room for this item? So ask yourself, when it comes to business, how does making this decision directly affect my long-term goals? Does it drive me further away from them, or does it bring me closer to achieving them? Does saying yes to this thing take away time from my already crazy schedule, or does it provide me more time freedom? You may need to remove something else from your schedule to create this time and allow for this thing first. And then, does this decision carry a monetary value? So will it require you to make an investment, big or small, or will it create an income? You may need to cancel something first that costs money in order to free up cash for this new thing. So these are the things I ponder when I'm thinking about making a decision. I'm like, well, sometimes we need to make room for great things and get rid of just the good things. So maybe something in your business isn't causing a problem, but it is something that that if you add this new thing to, it's going to be too much. So you'll need to take something out. And that recently played true for me when I started back up the podcast. So I had taken a hiatus from the podcast for the fall. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but yes, for several weeks. And when I decided to bring it back in, I had to consider, what do I need to kind of maybe take out of my schedule to make room for this first, right? And then as far as income, is this going to be something that requires more money? Am I going to need to find it somewhere else? Is there something I can cancel to make room for this new cost? All right. So then I want you to, this is my favorite one, you guys. This is create automatic filters so that you can make more easy decisions, right? Make the bigger decisions up front, and then you can filter all the other decisions through it. As I filter, so say my emails, as I filter through my emails, I have a quick method for that FOMO. I'm fighting off more overwhelm by having this decision filter in place. Here it is. If I haven't bought from this sender of the email in the last 30 days, I unsubscribe. If the algorithm found me in the first place, they're surely to find me again with no problem. If the person sends me emails every single day, this may sound harsh, but I unsubscribe. I'm easily overwhelmed. So if I'm getting bombarded by emails every single day and I cannot keep up, because number 3 on this one is if I haven't opened their email, their last email yet, and I got another email, of course, it's not their fault, but it tells me I didn't think it was important enough to open right away. So if I haven't opened their last email yet and I have a new email, I unsubscribe. So in order to lower that overwhelm and make my decisions easier, I run all of my emails through that filter. And the same goes for courses, you guys. I don't know about you, but I am a total course junkie. So I decided a long time ago, if I have a course that I haven't finished yet, I'm not going to buy a new one on the same topic. Because why would you? What if the answer is still sitting in that course that you already paid for? And that reminds me, keeping your courses front and center and slating that time in the week that you are going to use for learning, whether that be a podcast or a book reading or a course. You've got to make those things a priority so that you do not feel, regret for spending money on things that you never opened. Okay. So, what automatic filters can you put in place for your business today? I just want you to stop and think about that. Like, what things can you decide today so that in the moment, you don't have to make those decisions later? So, hopefully that's helpful. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is trusting yourself. Trust your own gut intuition. Listen, as creative entrepreneurs, we have a special intuition component to our personalities. This is what allows us to think outside of the box. And it can play a significant role in our decision making and making it easier if we let it. So think to yourself when you're trying to make a decision, is this something that you cannot stop thinking about? If so, I want you to trust your inner voice. I want you to trust your gut instinct on this. Combine your intuition with some common sense, and that will help you make a super well-rounded decision that you will not have to second guess or second question yourself. Okay. I want you to ask other people, but keep in mind, you're not asking other people's for their input for it to be like the answer. You don't need to ask other people for the answer. You just want insight. No one else is you, and no one else has your exact circumstance. Your decision needs to be yours alone. So when you're trusting yourself, not other people's decisions that they made for their business or their life. It reminds me of a time when I was in real estate. We used to have buyers that we would help buy houses, right? And we would have walk them through the entire process. And then it would be like the week before they were supposed to close on the house, and they'd be like, wait. I want to have my uncle come with me to look at the house. And I would be like, this is the first time I've heard about this uncle. Well, what are you talking about? And they'd be like, oh, no. I really want their opinion. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this can't turn out well. Because instinctively, other people, when you ask them to help you with a decision, feel obligated to poke holes in it. They feel obligated to earn that position that you've created for them in your life. They feel super responsible for your decision. And so 9 times out of 10, that well-meaning friend, uncle, whoever comes through the property and shoots bullet holes through everything. And then all of a sudden, we went from ready to close on the decision that was already made when they trusted themselves with their own decisions to just dismantling the decision altogether. And so I always would tell them, I can appreciate you wanting their opinion. I really, really do. And I understand. However, if they are not making your payment for you, you need to trust yourself. Because at the end of the day, you, my friend, are the one that will be living in that house. You, my friend, are the one who will have the regret if you don't get this particular house. And so reframing it like that is a great way to keep yourself in check. And when you're asking input from others, okay, get their insight, but you don't need their answers. You need their insight. And just combine that with your gut instinct, and you will make really good decisions. And then lastly, learn to be flexible. Listen, most of our day-to-day decisions are rarely irreversible. I mean, seriously, can you think back to a decision you made that was later reversed or tweaked in some way, shape, or form to just accommodate new things and new circumstances? I know that happens to me a lot. And sometimes we just have to have this attitude of like, but did you die? When you're making a decision and you're worried about if it's going to be good or bad, and you make the decision and it turns out that it wasn't the best one, but did you die? Sorry, y'all. I just always think that's so funny. It's like, okay, so I've changed my blog theme at least 4 or 5 times. And this is after weeks of hard, long hours of working on it. Think this is the best theme ever. This is the last time I'm going to do this. And so it feels really permanent at the time of me making that decision to go with that theme. But later on, as time passes, I'm thinking, and my business evolves, I'm thinking, oh, maybe this isn't the best theme for what I'm trying to accomplish. And lo and behold, I changed the theme. Bum, bum, bum. But did I die? No. Did it matter at the time? No, it didn't have as much weight as I was giving it, right? So you need to embrace the flexibility, be prepared to adapt as your circumstances evolve in your business. And sometimes the very best decisions are the ones that allow you to have room to make adjustments later. And so just learn to be flexible in your decisions and know that none of them, none of them have to be absolutely permanent. So say you decide to give up that Facebook group, right? Because it's just weighing you down or it's not making you the income you thought it was going to. Know that in that moment, you're making that best decision you can with the information that you have or the filter that you set up for it. It doesn't mean that later you can't start another group, right? So just be sure to know that it's rarely as final as you make it in your mind at the time. I think a lot of our decision-making fatigue comes from perfectionism and our desire to get it perfect the first time. We want to get everything perfect the first time, even though our common sense tells us there's no such thing as perfect. I think that we a lot of times also procrastinate with our decision making because we think it has to be perfect. But I want to encourage you and challenge you to make decisions that are imperfect, knowing that you can be flexible and that you should trust yourself. And that if it's going through some of these automatic filters you've already set up, it's probably a good decision. And learning how to let go of some good things in order to make room for the great things. And let's lower our choices, right? Rip off the Band-Aid, my friend. Make the decisions, make them often, and don't procrastinate. And then rinse and repeat, and it will be easier and easier as time goes on to avoid decision stress in your life. Listen, my friend, you've got this. You have the power to make impactful decisions in your business that will take you to new levels that you haven't seen before. If you got something from this episode, I would super appreciate it if you would screenshot this one and share it up in your stories. Share it up in your stories and tag Creatives on Fire podcast. I will share you in my stories as well. And I just appreciate you so much. Until next time, my friend, stay creative. Thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in each and every week. If you learned something new or were inspired from today's episode, I would be incredibly grateful if you would take a minute and just leave a review. Bonus points if you share this episode by screenshotting it and tagging me on social at Creatives on Fire podcast. I'll share you in my stories when you do. In the meantime, keep rocking your business, and I'll meet you back here next Tuesday. And don't forget, no one else will ever be you, and that is your creative superpower.